Bhagavata Kamalansi Garan Vaishnavancha Sirupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raganatam Vitam Tam Devam Sadaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Sri Vishatan Vidamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dino Bando Jagatpade Gopesha Kavika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Chana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrijavano Sade Devi Pranami Hariye Vanchakalpatarundascha Kripa Sindhu Bhevacha Paditanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Gaura Bhakta-vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo Rama Ramo Hare Hare Jaiva Dharma. Fifth chapter. Vaidhi Bhakti is Nitya Ratnamikita Dharma. So, Nari Mashai, who was taking up residence in Chantipur, had also a place in so had a residence in Chantipur, yeah, and there's when also he stayed in Budumrip, Padumnakunj. But his house was in Chantipur, and his two sons were there, and so the people around, they were criticizing Kalidas Narahiri because he became a Vaishnav. And they were Smata Brahmanas, mostly the people there. So they were saying different things. Someone said the old one has become Sinai. So another person said, he has everything, but still he's becoming a mendicant. And then another person said, this is the ill fate of those who wander here and there, shouting, this is Dharma, this is Dharma. A virtuous man said, so among the people there was one person who had some common sense, a virtuous man. Kalidas Lahiri Mahasaya is a very pious soul. He is maturely prosperous, and now in his maturity he has developed love for Harinam. So he respected him. As different people gossiped and spread various rumors, someone went to Devidas Vidyaratna, reported what he had heard. Vidyaratna became quite anxious and went to his elder brother. Brother said, it looks as we have to face great difficulty because of father. He's staying at Godum in Nadia on the plea of maintaining good health, but he has fallen into bad company there. It is impossible to ignore the outcry in the village about this. Chandranath said, brother, I have heard also some rumors. Our family is highly respected, but now we can no longer show our face because of our father's activities. We have always belittled the descendants of Advaita Prabhu. But now, what has become of our own house? Come, let's go inside. We shall discuss this matter with mother and decide what should be done. Soon afterwards, Chandranath and Devidas were seated On the second floor, we are undertaking the meal which was served by a Brahmani widow. Their mother sat with them. Chandranath said, Mother, have you heard any news of father? Mother, why? He's well, isn't he? He's staying in Sri Navadip and he has become mad after Harinam. Why don't you bring him here? Devidas said, Mother, father is quite well, but according to the reports we have been hearing, we can no longer rely on him. On the contrary, if we brought him here, we would become a social disgrace. Somewhat perturbed and asked, what has happened to him? Just recently I went to the bank of the Ganges and had a long talk with the wife of one of the leading Goswamis. She told me, your husband has met with great auspiciousness. He has earned tremendous respect among the Vaishnavas. So even the ladies were gossiping, but one of them was more intelligent, and she glorified him because he had become a Vaishnava. Devidas raised his voice slightly and said, he has certainly gained respect, but at the cost of our heads. Would he have remained at home in his old age and accepted our service? No. But see how. He's bent on defaming our prestigious family by sustaining on the remnants of ragged mendicants of different castes. Alas, this is the tragic effect of the age of Kali. He was such an experienced man, but what has become of his intelligence? So that is the situation, the age of Kali. People, they take adharma to be dharma and dharma to be adharma. Just the opposite. So they are smarta brahmanas. So they think themselves to be dharmic, but they have a great misconception. And they are not serving the Supreme Lord. They are their position to Vana ashram, not serving the Lord. And their father saw their own father who was successful in life and who brought them up, had become a wonderful Vaishnava, dharmic, and so now they're criticizing their own father and saying that he's now the cause of our misfortune, or that now people are talking bad about us because of him. So although they were also so speaking intelligent and well-to-do, even the youngest son doesn't got a little Vidya Ratna jewel of knowledge. But that is not transcendental knowledge. Unfortunately, so that situation can arise. Devidas had spoken, now his mother speaks. Mother said, bring him here now and keep him hidden until you can persuade him to change his mind. Chandranath said, what other alternative do we have? Do we go to Godrum secretly with 2 or 3 men and bring father here? Devidas said, you both know very well that father has no regard for me because he considers me to be an atheist. I'm afraid that he might even speak to me if I go there. And of course, so if the son is an atheist, so the father, who is a devotee, how he can have so much respect for him? Devidas had a maternal cousin called Shambhunath, who was very dear to Lahiri Mahashai. He'd stayed with him for a long time and had rendered much service to him. It was decided that Devidas and Shambhunath would go together to Godrum, so a servant was sent that very day to a Brahmana's house in Godrum to arrange for their residential quarters. The next day, when Devidas and Shambhunath had finished their meal, they set out for Godrum. Having reached their appointed lodging, they got down from the palanquins and gave the bearers permission to depart. The Brahmana cook and 2 servants had arrived there in advance. So previously they were very strict in their behavior according to Varna Ashram. And so here, the Brahmanas, they were going on the palanquin. They are not walking. So palanquin, of course, carried by those from the Shudra community. And they gave them some money, of course. So Brahmana cook, because they were from Brahmana family, Brahmana cook and 2 servants, they had gone there also, because usually previously the Brahmanas, they used to only eat items cooked by other Brahmanas. At that time there were no restaurants like nowadays. Restaurants are there, and if they didn't know somebody, they would not just go to somebody, and if they didn't know anybody, they would not just try to go here and there to eat something somehow. So therefore they had one Brahmana cook, so they were very well to do. And thus Devidas and Shambhunath made their way towards Sri Badumra Kunj. On their arrival, they saw Lahiri Mahashaya sitting on a mat of leaves on Surabhi terrace with his eyes closed. He was chanting Harinam on his Tulsi Mala and his body was decorated in 12 places with tilak. Devidas and Shambhunath slowly climbed up onto the terrace and offered pranam at his feet. So at least they showed some respect. On hearing footsteps, Lahiri Mahashaya opened his eyes and was astonished to see the 2 men. Shambhu, he exclaimed, what brings you here? How are you? So you can see here also, sometimes nickname is there for other persons, and we will see amongst our devotees, Vaishnavas also. Sometimes, so the devotees also give short name to another devotee. So what brings you here? How are you? By your blessings we are quite well, they replied politely. Will you take your meal here? Asked Lahiri Mahashaya. We have already arranged for a place to stay, they replied. You need not worry about us. At that moment, loud chanting of Sri Hari's name was heard from Sri Premdas Babaji's Madhavi Malati Bhavar. Vaishnadas Baba came out of his kutir and asked Lahiri Mahashaya, why was there such a loud sound of Hari from Paramahamsa Babaji's court? Lahiri Mahashaya and Vaishnavdas Babaji went ahead to investigate and found many Vaishnavas circumambulating Babaji Mahashaya and chanting Sri Harinam. The 2 of them also joined in the assembly. Everyone offered Dandavat Pranam to Paramahamsa Babaji Maharaj and sat down on the terrace. Devi Das and Shambhunath were also seated on one side of the terrace, like crows in an assembly of swans. In the meantime, one of the Vaishnavas said, "We have come from Kantaka Nagar Katra. Our main purpose is to take darshan of Sri Navadip Mayapur and to obtain the dust of the lotus feet of Paramahamsa Babaji Maharaj." Paramahamsa Babaji Maharaj felt embarrassed and said, "I'm a great sinner, you have simply come to purify me." So Vaishnavas are so humble and are true Vaishnav, true Babaji. So engaged in devotional service, but still saying I'm a sinner. And they're not just saying like this, they're feeling like this also. Because they're engaged in devotional service, they see they're so insignificant. And they feel that they are not able to properly serve the Lord, to properly perform bhajan. And that they are thinking just because of our past life, we are not able to nicely do bhajan. So in this way they may express, we are a sinner, I am a sinner. So that is the natural quality of a Vaishnava. And he sees that everyone is trying and serving Krishna so nicely. So he sees everyone nicely engaged in devotional service except himself. But is a true Vaishnava's position, extremely humble. So the Babajis, they are just absorbed in their bhajan. And so therefore, of course, they may also preach, but they're not making an effort to preach, go out and preach. And then, so like the preacher, he has to make distinction. This is a pure devotee, this is a neophyte devotee, this is an innocent artistic man, and this is an artistic man. They have to discriminate. But the Paramahamsas, they already see everyone as a devotee. So they're not discriminating as such. They have respect for all. See everyone engaged in the service of the Lord. After a short time, it was discovered that these Vaishnavas were all expert in singing bhajans, devotional songs, glorifying Sri Hari. Mridanga and katas were brought at once, and a senior member of the assembly began to sing a bhajan from Prarthana. Prarthana is Narottam Das Thakur's book, famous book. And this book, of course, he has many songs glorifying the Lord, the Vaishnavas, the process of devotional service. So also, later on, Gokishore Das Babaji Maharaj was glorifying the books of Narottam Das Thakur. Because also in these books, Narottam Das Thakur, so Pratna and Prema Bhakti Chandrika. So Pratna, as we know, it means offering prayers, Pratna. Prem Bhakti Chandrika, pure devotion, Prema Bhakti. Chandrika. Chandrika is the moonshine, so which is giving light. So we may see the process of devotional service. So Gokishore Das Babaji Maharaj used to say, I have these books, Pratna and Prem Bhakti Chandrika, and I don't need any other books. Reading these books again and again, they're nourishing my bhakti. And so he was absorbed in chanting the mantra, and then in reading, singing these songs of these two books. So famous amongst the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. So here, glorifying Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda and others. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Gadaya Dvaita Tranda Gaura Bhakta Vrindam. O Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, O Gadadhar, O Advaita Chandra, O Gaura Bhaktas. Apara Koruna Sindhu Vaishnava Thakura Mohena Pamara Daya Karaha Prachura. O Vaishnav Thakur, you're a boundless ocean of mercy. Please bestow your profuse mercy on a sinful creature like me. So we should beg for the mercy of the Vaishnavas in conditioned state. So we need the mercy of the Vaishnavas. Jati vidyudhana jana madhemata jane uddhara kare nata kripa vitarane. O Master, please be merciful and deal with the intoxicated and attachment to wife, children, and family members. So it is not so easy to become free from attachment to anything of this world. And that is actually for any sadhaka. So therefore we should take shelter. I should pray to them for their mercy. And we can take shelter of the Lord and make our life successful. Kanaka kamini loba pratishta vasana charaya sodhamore emora prartana. Please purify me of my lust for woman and wealth and the desire of prestige, the desire for prestige. This is my prayer. So this is a very good prayer, because in conditioned life, everyone is attracted to Kanaka Kamini. Kanaka means gold or wealth, and Kamini means beautiful woman. So Lobh, having greed for that. Pratishta Vasana. Pratishta means prestige. Name, fame, glory, the same old story, as the saying goes. In material life, people, they are after name, fame, and glory. And so when we take to the path of devotion, then we're supposed to give that up. But we may see, alas, that many devotees, they are after name, fame, and glory. So therefore, name, fame, glory, the same old story. So, but yes, it's not easy to give that up. So, but we should try and we should pray for the mercy. Mora Prarthana, that is my prayer. So we should pray in this way. Nameruche Jivadaya Vaishnavulasa Daya Kari Dehamure Ohe Krishna Das. So praying to the Vaishnavas. O servant of Sri Krishna, please be merciful and give me a taste for Sri Nam and compassion for all jivas. And let me delight in the association of Vaishnavas. So that also Mahaprabhu used to say. So Krishna samsara kari chadyana cha jivadaya Krishna nam sarva dharma sar. So another Vaishnava said, Nityananda Mahajan. So praying also to Nityananda. So Sadavan Jan hai. Prabhu Agyai Maya Bhiksha Boro Krishna Bhajo Krishna Koro Krishna Sita. Aparada Suna Hoi Loha Krishna Nam. Krishna Vata Krishna Peta Krishna Pranadam. Krishna Re Samsara Kori Chariya Anachar Jivadoya Krishna Nam. Sarva Dharma Sar. So that is the essence of Dharma. Jivadoya Krishna Nam. One should be merciful to the jivas. So Krishna is everything for us. Krishna Mata, Krishna Pita, Krishna Pranadhan. So we should give up this material connection. And try to get Namruchi. Prabhu Agaya. So taking the order of Mahaprabhu or Nityananda. And we should tell others. Bolo Krishna Bhajo Krishna Koro Krishna Sika. So we should tell others to chant the holy names, to worship Krishna. And then we should give this, or tell others also to distribute this mercy of Krishna Nam, or Krishna consciousness. So Mahaprabhu used to say, Jivadoya Krishna Nam, or Nam Ruchi, Vaishnav Seva, Jivadoya. We should get the taste for chanting the holy names. We should serve the Vaishnavas and we should be merciful to the conditioned soul. So, Nam Ruchi, we should pray to be able to get taste for chanting the holy names. Tumara charana chaya ekamatra asha jivane marane matra amara bharasa. The shade of your lotus feet is my only hope, my sole refuge in life and death. When this bhajan came to an end, the Vaishnavas sang a prayer composed by Kalidas Lahiri Mahashaya, which was charming and full of poetic sentiment. Niche maya bashe samsara sagare pariyachilam ami karuna kariya diya padachaya amare tarila tumi. I fell onto the ocean of samsara and became enslaved in futile activities by the influence of Maya. You are merciful and deliver me by giving me the shade of your lotus feet. So that is a prayer to the spiritual master or to the Vaishnava. Shuna Shuna Vaishnava Takura Tumara Charane Sampiyachi Namata Muraduka Karadhura. O Vaishnav Thakur, please hear me. I have surrendered my head at your lotus feet. Please dispel my misery. Jatira Gaurava Kevala Raurava Vidyaseya Vidyakalaha Sodhya Amaya Nitaya Charane Sampahe Jau Kadvala. Pride of caste is a terrible hell. Material learning is but an aspect of ignorance. Please purify me and deliver me to the feet of Nitai. Please extinguish my blazing agony. So, yes, we need to get the mercy of Nitai also, who is very merciful, and by the mercy of Nitai we can take shelter of the feet of Mahaprabhu. Tomara kripaya amara jivaya spurukar jugal nama Hey Kalidasa, Amara Hridaya Jaguka Sri Radha Shyama. By your mercy, may the holy names of Sri Yugal appear on my tongue. And may Sri Radha Shyam appear in my heart. This is the prayer of Kalidas. So, actually Vaishnav and purified consciousness, so he will serve the Lord very nicely. And then so many wonderful qualities are manifested. So one of them is Kavi, poetic. Of course, this Lahiri Mahashai, already from before, he was already poetic, but he had no clear understanding of bhakti, of Vaishnav Dharma, Nitya Dharma. And so, because of his upbringing and the environment, so he had some smarter conception and some pride was there. But coming to Padumna Kunj, meeting the Vaishnavas, so he became purified and he became a wonderful Vaishnav. Singing this bhajan together, all of them became mad with joy. At the end, they repeated the line, Jagu Kasi Radha Shyama. May Sri Radha Shyama appear in my heart. Jagu, so may they awaken in my heart. So they were repeating this line again and again and began to dance exuberantly. As they continued to dance, a few Bhavuk Vaishnavas fell unconscious. So Bhavuk Vaishnav, that means a devotee who is highly advanced on the stage of Bhav. So that is a manifestation of Bhav, ecstatic symptom to fall unconscious. An extraordinary atmosphere developed, and as Devidas witnessed all this, began to think that his father was deeply immersed in the pursuit of spiritual truth, and that it would be difficult to take him home. So he was a little intelligent, but still not completely. It was about midnight when the meeting broke up. Everyone exchanged Dandavat Pranam and returned to their respective places. Devidas and Shambhanath took permission from their father and returned to their lodgings. So they couldn't really speak to him. So, because of this incident. The following day, when they had finished their meal, Devi and Shambhu went to the kuti of Lahiri Mahashai. Devidas Vidyaratna offered pranam to Lahiri Mahashai and said, Dear father, I have one request to make of you. Please come and reside in our house at Chantipur. We will all be very happy to serve you at home. We can also arrange for a solitary kutir for you, if you give your permission. Lahiri Mahashai replied, It is a good idea, but I would not get the type of sadhu sangha in Chantipur that I get here. Devi, you know the people of Shantipur, they are so godless and so fond of slandering others that a man can hardly be satisfied to live there. So, granted, there are many Brahmanas there, but their intelligence has become crooked by their association with shallow-minded materialists like the weavers. So that was the situation in Navadvip, and even nowadays still, and in many holy places, even Vrindavan, there are many Smarta Brahmanas. And they are practically materialistic actually. And some of them, they are godless. Fine garments, grandeurs, words and blasphemy Vaishnavas are the three characteristics of the people of Shantipur. So they want to be nicely dressed. They are just boasting of their activities. And unfortunately, they are blaspheming the Vaishnavas. That was the situation, which is very unfortunate. The descendants of Advaita Prabhu have undergone so much trouble there that they have become almost inimical to Mahaprabhu by such negative association. You should therefore grant that they may stay here in good room. That is my desire. So Advaita Acharya, he had 6 sons. 3 they became Vaishnavas, and 3 they became Smarta Brahmanas. And of the 3, one of them was the